And now we start the hill climb. I know he's coming. And shoot down. Continue this climb and we'll jump into the ravine. A little drop off. To the left. It's not easy. Nice little drop off here. Nice drop off here. Gotta try to keep the front wheel on the ground. This may not look like a motorcycle video, but it is, in a way. It is getting into winter, and one of the things I need to do is stay in shape or get in shape for next riding season. So a few things I've decided I'm doing on a regular basis and have been doing for the last 3 months now. I'm going to take you along with what I do on a kind of a weekly basis just to keep in shape for going riding. And one of them is my rowing machine. 2 days a week I row. 30 minutes. 3 days a week I go mountain biking, and I'm going to take you on my mountain bike ride today so you can see what that is, what kind of thing I'm doing. So I'm riding an e-bike so I can go farther and hit some, more trails and a lot more climbing and just keep myself going at a good pace. And that works for me. Anyways, this is what I'm doing, and I'll take you along. Let's go. So as we're leaving my neighborhood right now, I'm going to talk about power levels. You can see my thing here. I've got power levels 1 through 6 instead of just Eco, Trail, and Boost. So 1 is a little bit lower than the normal Eco, and 2 is probably what would be normal Eco setting. 3 is a little lower than, I could say, a trail mode. 4 is standard trail mode. Then I've got 5 and 6, and those are up what they would call like a boost mode. I don't use those. 1, how I have it set now, I use that for the first 6 miles. It gives me a good warm up. All right, so the first part of this ride is we're meeting up with my brother Pat and friend Mike, and they're gonna join me for today's ride. All right, here comes Pat. He's got his new jersey on. What's up? And there he is. Hey, what's happening, man?
Chris?
Good to see you.
I still have no real brake. No brake, huh?
All right, so after picking up the guys, we're gonna head into the Sycamore Park. On your left. Good morning. All right, so we're just about to leave the Sycamore Park, and we'll hit the road for just a minute. And there is a trail, if you look straight ahead of me, that little path right there, and then it turns left into a small trail that kind of like links up with the next park. But usually lots of hikers on that, so I don't take that one, even though this is actually more dangerous because of the cars. All right, Arroyo del Valle staging area. I think a lot of people out here today. And now we start the hill climbs. We will continue this climb. All right, so 2 things I talked about. One of them was the warm-up was 6 miles. That's when the hill starts and you start getting a real exercise. And then 2, I have it in level 3, which is my lower trail mode. And that's what I'll use for the rest of the day. Coming up to the last part of the climb here, and you get to the first view of the lake. And early in the morning, it's just beautiful with like fog coming off the lake. It's super awesome. Then we'll get ourselves down to sort of lake level, and a little single track going around the lake, which is a lot of fun.
got these fun little trails around the lake, which is cool. Makes it entertaining. You kind of like don't want to stop all these trails. That helps break up the monotony of the couple hours of exercise. It's also gonna say doing 30 miles, 30 to 31 miles today, which is my normal route. And so having these little trails makes it a lot of fun. It also teaches you, like we should be doing on our dirt bikes, our motorcycles, adventure bikes, is actually leaning the bike a lot more than we're leaning ourselves, which is key to one, conserving energy, better handling. You know, it'll be more apparent when we get into more technical stuff, but sometimes when you're going around turns trying to lean that bike over and get it on the tires helps, like at the bottom of this hill. So we need that bike leaned over so it doesn't slide in the gravel. And it really helps. And the mountain bike, any bicycle, helps us with that technique. All right, headed around the lake. This trail goes up here, back around there. If you can see the trail right there, we'll go that way and around the lake. Then we'll come back up to the trail for just a second, or the road. Got this little backside. So most of the trails out here are these ones that go along the side of a hill. And I think it really helps build your confidence for bikes and motorcycles of riding on these single track trails that kind of, you know, are intimidating because it's a cliff on one side going up and a cliff on the other side going down, and just becoming more comfortable with that on a light bike versus your 500-pound motorcycle, or 4 or 3 or whatever it is. So definitely helps. And leaning that bike over, right, always helps in the gravel. And so that's another one of those lessons, but I think it just really helps, builds the skills. Coming around the lake here, get a little fun spot because it's very off camber. You gotta try to shift down first, get up on it, and then try not to pedal strike too much. It's pretty off camber there. And a barbed wire fence right there, so don't want to hit that. All right, so there are good views up here. Little trails that go off that way. We're back on the main road, which we take down a little ways, then it cuts off, kind of cuts the corner, and then goes down through this valley right here. It has one of the steepest climbs. Then you'll take a right there, right, this way. Yeah, there's another turn up there. Yeah, I like this trail. It's a lot of fun. Just kind of winding through the trees. And we're coming up on the steepest climb of the whole ride. Just long and grueling, and then the top is super steep. Alright, this is the steepest hill. So you guys can listen to me get out of breath. But it's a pretty cool one. Coming up through the trees here. And then it takes a left at the top, which gets really steep. May have to skip some of this because I'm sure this is super boring, but we'll catch you at the, probably at the turn up here. Hit the braking bumps. It's hard to keep traction, but so far not so bad. Then we start making the turn, and then it gets steep with little braking bumps. And it is not easy. That front wheel wants to come off the ground. I'm gonna take another hard left. I think it's it right back there. Oh, you see the wheel coming off the ground there. Couldn't turn. Oh yeah. Here we go. The last section of the steepest hill. I don't see those guys back there, so we'll have to wait a little bit. Whew. Stop up here at the top. All right, that's the climb. Good views. Here comes Pat and Mike. And that is one steep hill. Gate.
The big one?
What's that? No, was there a tarantula back there?
Yes.
I missed it.
Oh, I almost missed it. I mean, I'm like, whoa.
Oh man, he probably is not walking real well right now.
having a bad day.
Well, if you didn't see him when you went over, I didn't see him. I was just watching
Thank you.
tires. Nothing flicked at you.
Here's the last really steep hill climb. This one you just gotta try to keep the front wheel on the ground. This is the hardest part. Usually here, whoops, sort of lose it. But now we go down the gate, we start some trails. All right, we just crossed a gate into what they call the far side of the lake, which actually is where most of the mountain biking trails are, for like downhill trails. See everywhere. So there's 3 we're gonna do on this side, and then 2 on the other side. And that makes my exercise worth it. We're at 12.32 miles, 57 minutes. So still keeping the pace up, and more hill climbing. But we'll do this 3 times. 4 times. Yeah, anyway. And then back up to the top, and there's 2 longer trails that go all the way down the lake and back up again. We'll do 2 of those. And then from that point, it's like a 10-mile ride home. All right, so first trail, we start coming up here a little bit. Just after the climb, this little offshoot here, it just starts you up on the hill a little bit from the beginning of it. And put my goggles on. There's a little jump here people come up to, and then make sure nobody's coming, and we shoot down. Got all these little jumps and stuff. Not all, a couple. And then there's some really terrible berms that we cut in here. But these are not doing anything. They're just not quite high enough. So you can go over the top pretty easily. But still fun. Pretty short trail. It kind of ends right here. Go down to the gate right there if you want to. Or just back up here. And we'll turn around and go back up the hill. Alright, so we're going to head to the second trail that I do. And here's that little jump we were looking at a second ago. It kind of goes up to the trail there, but we pass this one. You'll see there's like 3 trails going off over to the left over there. I'm going to take the first one. Basically kind of comes back this way. And I think this is the one I like the most. I think this is it. I never remember. I think so, yeah. And it has a little ravine you go down through, so that makes it super fun. All right, let's get to it. I'm gonna turn and watch out for some holes here. And the really rough downhill right here. And a little jump. And then into the ravine. A lot of little drop-offs, which are so much fun. And we're back out at the where that road is. It comes down here, you go down to the gate, or straight up here back to the trail. We'll go up the trail. All right. And for the third one, you can see trail kind of went off that way. See it here in a second. We just kind of follow that. Almost looks straight from where we're going. And off the trail, it's the most direct one. The one that goes up to the right, we're going to follow the one that goes down a little bit to the left there. That'll be our third and final on this side of the park. There's all these have these bumpy. Oh, this wasn't that bumpy of a downhill. It was that's a little bit bumpy uphill. Not bad. You gotta remember to lean the bike when you have those off-camber pieces. A little bit of a jump here, but they did put a little bit of a berm in there, which really helps. Okay, thank you guys. And then that one doesn't, so I just went off the trail there. All right. Down. A little jump there. That one. And one more. Oh, that's right, there's more. Ha! Another one. Two more. This one. I don't take that one very fast. Has a big bump after it. Anyway. Didn't feel good on those. Went off the trail that one spot. You can always get your pace off a little bit. There's a great little downhill right here. Make sure to shift down first. Go down and actually make the right-hand turn here. And come up instead of just going up that little. And we're back to the trail. Go back up again. All right. And fourth and final for this one. All right, now I made it to this side of the park. Two trails here I do. One goes off that direction, one goes off that way. And so we'll take the one off to the right first. Nice little drop off here. Second one in there. This one feels like you're gonna get launched, but I'll slow down. Nice drop off here. Another drop off. Yeah. Little drop there, but I always sets me up wrong for the next turn. A berm shot at the end, and then we take this little trail going back down the creek. And both of them end up here. It's one of those things that really helps with my adventure bike skills too, because you really gotta lean the bike rather than yourself in all those turns. You relay that over to your adventure bike and it really helps. Pays huge dividends on being able to handle more tactical terrain on a big bike. All right, here we are. A little uphill. We'll climb out. This little canyon thing. See it up a little bit. Got these little rocks up here to cross over. Keep your speed up. And then the last little climb. Off-camber piece, and that's it. Then we'll hit the road. We're all the way down to the lake now. Drops a lot of elevation really quick. And see the lake off to my left here. There it is. And then we'll head back up the hill. Alright, take the road back up, sort of that same spot, and take the one to the left. Alright, we're back at the top here now. We went to the right down here. We're going to go to the left. I actually don't think it's as good a trail, but it adds some variety to my ride, so we just do it. Missed that one. I don't know if I normally take that or not. Kind of jumps into a berm. Yeah, downhill after it. Now this next downhill over here, it's a little off camber. Tons. The problem is you want to take it this way, not the other way. And then off this one. Need to make these. But then slow down here because there's not one over there. It's like not a done trail or something. I don't know. Whatever. And then we come down into the little valley again. And I think I'm trying to figure out where it meets up with the other one. Oh, I guess it already did. I just never know. Must be right where you come out down there. Oh, I don't know. Never look up, I guess. Weird. Tried to pay attention that time, but I still couldn't figure it out. But now it's kind of that trail sort of just loses altitude too quickly without any kind of reward, I think. Got a big drop off and off camber downhill, and that's kind of it. So the other one's, for me, a lot more fun. Still come back up this hill and back over to the trail. So we're about 19 and a half miles. I just got back on the road to do about 1,000-foot climb. head up to the top, and take the road back. So it's a lot of climbing, which is good. Really, really good. Really helps. And the amount of time that I can spend on the bike really helps. I need that endurance for the adventure rides. You'd be on there for 18 hours, so doing a couple hours on the bike like this really helps. Anyways, onward and upward. Always these fun little offshoots on these trails that you can take. Just shoot off the side. It may be a waste of energy, but you know, still fun. Alright, so we're getting to the exit of the park, the Valle Regional Park. This is the upper exit. And we are at 21.5 miles, 21.48, but we're not the, whatever. 21.5 miles, 1 hour 56 minutes, but I still have about 9 miles, 10 miles to get home, so we'll do that. Love these little exit things, they're awesome. And sure no cars are coming. There we go. And we're gonna take the road back. About 9-10 miles, so we'll be at 31 miles at the end of this. Trying to get to the top of the hill here, I switch it back down to level 2, which is an eco mode, and then I just ride about 18-19 miles an hour to keep my heart rate up until I get home. All right, back in the neighborhood, 30.47, 8, 9, 10, I don't know, whatever, we're almost there. Just over 30 miles, 2 hours, 25 minutes, and been an awesome ride. Look forward to my next one every other day. So I take a day off between rides, and I really think this has massively helped my adventure riding and overall fitness to keep my riding going. Anyways, till next time, enjoy. Woo!